Think buying a brand new expensive putter will instantly up your game? Well, think again, because over the next few minutes I'm going to expose the 9 biggest lies about expensive putters that nobody ever talks about. Stick with me because you might just discover that the most expensive putter is not necessarily the best bet for you. You know, putters are expensive, and I'm a big fan of having a quality putter. I use what I believe is a quality putter. I have no problem with whatever you choose to spend on your putter, but I want to dispel some of the big myths. Lie number 1 is that a brand new expensive putter is instantly going to make you putt better. That is not true. What will make you putt better is having a good putting stroke, learning to read greens, knowing how to putt the right way, which is why I've created a course called Learn to Putt the Right Way, part of my series of courses entitled One Putt Magic, Mastering the Greens Game. Check it out in the video description down below. It'll make you a lot better putter than going out and buying a new putter, and it'll cost about 1/5 of the cost of that. Lie number 2 about expensive putters is there's some amazing new technology that's going to totally transform the way that the ball rolls. Folks, that's just not true. Back in the 1950s, Karsten Solheim with Ping came up with the idea of distributing the weight and redistributing the weight on the putter. That was a big technology transformation that made a difference in putter quality and how putters work. Nothing else until the last 6 or 7 years when lab golf and whole new golf came up with mass balancing and lie angle balancing, and we'll talk more about that later. Other than that, there's no big technological innovation in putters that's going to help you roll the ball better. That's all marketing by manufacturers who've got to come up with a reason to sell you a new putter every couple of years so that they can keep making money and keep their processes and profits going. Lie number 3 about expensive putters is, I putted great with it in the store. Yeah, you did, because it's a trick. Let me explain how I know this. There's a golf store here in Las Vegas, and they have average price putters, say $100 to $250, $299, in that range, and they have them out in the middle of their showroom in a big square with a half wall and a little practice green, a bunch of holes, and those are normal. You go in there and putt with those, and the ball goes in or it doesn't, depends on whether you hit it right. Then they have another area, a separate indoor putting green with the expensive putters, the $400, $500, $600, $700 putters. And in that area, the floor is shaped and sloped just a little bit to roll the ball in the hole. So you think that you're putting better with that expensive putter. I've been there and tried that, and I tried to aim a ball 3 inches right of the hole, and it goes up the line and then curves and breaks in. I tried to aim a ball 3 inches left of the hole, and it goes up and curves in. I tried to hit a ball straight down the middle, and it goes in. Yeah, where they sell the expensive putters, you make everything because they've set you up to think that way. Lie number 4 about expensive putters is, oh, I saw this guy putting with it on the tour, and he won. He was making everything. Well, number 1, they only show you the highlights on TV, so yeah, they do make everything. Number 2, the putter that the tour pros use is modified and customized to them. You can't go buy that putter off of the shelf. Number 3, those tour pros are paid to rep that brand. And so a lot of that is marketing and promotions that way. People ask me a lot of times, why doesn't the tour pro use your whole new putter? Here's why. There's a long history of tour pros winning on a weekend, and then that putter manufacturer, whatever putter they were using, sells 100,000 putters in 24 hours because everybody thinks it's great. Well, putters like, say, Lab Golf and Honu come up with a new technology that actually does work. It's one of the 2 things in the last 60 years where there's been a huge change in putter technology that made a difference. Well, Lab Golf has a manufacturing facility and they use aircraft grade aluminum, they can scale, and this is why you'll see tour pros using a lab golf putter. They can scale to meet the demand of huge sales. Someone like Honu, who is handcrafted from recycled bamboo flooring, which is limited. Each putter is handmade by a surfboard craftsman from that recycled bamboo. They could not handle selling 100,000 putters in a week or a month because there's not enough supply and they don't have the factory and the facilities. There's not enough surfboard craftsmen to make that. So understand that when a tour pro is using a putter, that may be best for them and it may be best for the company that paid them to use that brand, but you can't get that putter on the shelf, and that's probably not the best for you anyway. Lie number 4 about expensive putters is related to that, and lie number 4 is that the big name brands are the best. And there's some big names out there like Evenroll or Adele or Scotty Cameron and Odyssey and a ton of others. That does not mean because they have a big name, they're the best. They have a big name means they spend a lot of money on marketing and advertising. They paid tour pros to use their product so that they get that big name. And as long as your putter is decent quality and manufactured in a way that's consistent, it doesn't have to be a big, expensive brand. Lie number 5 is one of the biggest ones, and that lie is simply this, that there's something magic about the grooves or the milling or the insert on the face of the putter that miraculously puts the ball in the hole. Like there's a brand out there that says, oh, we have these pyramid-shaped grooves, and with these magic grooves you can hit it on the toe and it gear effects into the hole, and you can hit it on the heel and it gear effects into the hole. Folks, I can't say the word on YouTube that what I think about that, but starts with bull and ends with it. So you get it. That's nonsense. The laws of physics don't work that way. And here's the thing. Think about this. When you swing a putter, you're not swinging it so hard that you compress the ball and the grooves on the putter dig into the ball and influence the way that it spins or rolls. The ball dwells on the face of a putter less than a fraction of a micromillisecond. There's no time for some magic milling or grooves to move the ball a certain way. It just doesn't work that way. The purpose of a face insert or milling on the face of the putter or grooves on the face of the putter is to reduce the mass, to reduce the amount of copper or brass or steel or beryllium or whatever your putter is made out of, to reduce the amount of surface of the putter that's contacting the ball, and that softens the blow and makes it easier for you to control speed and distance. That's why wooden putters don't have face inserts or grooves, because they're naturally softer that way. But face milling and grooves, it's physically impossible for that to affect the roll of the ball. That's just a lie to get you to buy more putters. I'll give you an example. There's one company out there that has a softer plastic face insert, and everybody was using that, and the tour pros were using that, and they said, oh, that really helps you get the ball rolling, but it had a flaw. This flaw was proven in laboratory tests and slow motion video. The face insert wasn't in the right position. It wasn't big enough, and it actually, you were hitting the ball with half of the face insert and half with the plain old steel, and the ball was wobbling offline, but they were bragging about how that was the greatest thing. Since then, they've changed that and improved that face insert. But again, there's no magic milling or grooves or insert that's going to make the ball roll better or correct a bad stroke. Lie number 6 is that a heavier putter helps you roll the ball straighter. Let's talk about putter weight. Weight is a personal preference. Should vary based on the type of greens that you play and your stroke. But the weight, overall weight of the putter and the swing weight of the putter does not make it roll straighter. And that can be customized for you, certainly. But Let's talk about weight of the putter in terms of moment of inertia. There's a physical principle called moment of inertia. Karsten Solheim got a long way with this with his innovation in ping way back in the 50s, moving the mass and the weight from the center more to the heel and the toe. And what that did is that creates moment of inertia, creates a little more resistance to the putter twisting offline. But hear me very carefully. That's resistance to twisting offline during the stroke, not at impact. You see, when you swing the putter, if you hit it on the toe or the heel, if the weight is distributed in the center, then hitting the putter on the toe or the heel will influence the distance. So a putter that has a higher moment of inertia is going to resist twisting during the stroke. But at that moment, when the putter face hits the ball, it doesn't matter if the putter face twists then or not. If it's square at that moment of impact and you hit it on the toe and that causes the face to open a little bit, the ball's already gone. Remember when we talked about grooves, the dwell time of the ball on the putter face is so minor that what happens after impact does not matter, only that moment of impact. So weight is important in terms of keeping the putter face from twisting offline during your stroke, not once you contact the ball. So heel and toe weighting and moving the mass to the sides or more low to the center helps. It does two things. It helps keep the putter from twisting offline during the stroke. That's huge. The other thing that weight or moment of inertia does is it gives you a more consistent distance when you don't hit it perfectly on the sweet spot, but on the heel or toe. You'll still have a little less, but it'll be closer and better, more consistent. Second big innovation in putters with reference to weight distribution is what Honu and Lab Golf do with mass balance putters, so that this putter face resists twisting offline during your stroke. I've done videos on the channel and you can find them out there where you put the putter in a device that allows it to do whatever it wants to do. Every other putter in the world, with the exception of Lab and the exception of Honu, during your stroke, the putter face is wobbling all over the place, which means you have to do something with your hands during the grip to keep that from happening. That's not difficult to do. A lot of people putt fine that way. Simply having a putter that's mass balanced like a Lab or a Honu certainly helps you. It makes it easier. It's better. In fact, that leads us to lie number 7. Lie number 7 is that a blade putter is better for people who have an arcing stroke, and a mallet putter is better for people who have a pendulum stroke. Folks, the putting stroke is not an arc, and it's not a pendulum. It's neither one, and yet both at the same time. And if you're thinking about arcs and pendulums, you are not ever going to be a very good putter. You need to have a putting stroke that's right. And the arc and pendulum, yeah, there's an arc there because the way that your body is made and because the putter shaft goes in at an angle instead of 90 degrees straight up and down like a croquet mallet. And yeah, there's a pendulum there because you're swinging as you go back, the putter lifts up a little bit and then there's a low spot. So yeah, but if you're thinking about arcs and pendulums, you're sunk from the beginning. What you need to do is develop a putting stroke and then choose the type of putter that works for you based on how it feels and how it looks. You like the look of a blade over the ball or a mallet over the ball or something else over the ball. That's a personal preference, not this type is better for this stroke and this type is better for that stroke. I will say a mallet putter, generally speaking, is a little more forgiving if you have a less than perfect stroke. Lie number 9 about expensive putters is that you need to have a custom fit putter to play well and to putt well. This is not completely a lie. Certainly you ought to have a putter that's fit to you, especially for length. But the problem is, so many times people who are doing putter fittings are all about you buying their putter or you buying their brand, and not about a fit that works for you, that's set up properly for you. So you need to find a good fitter. But think about it this way. People pay huge money to get fit for a driver, and they're going to swing a driver maximum 14 times in a round. You're going to use a putter 18 times a round, putt more than that for almost everybody in the world. Putting is 40% of your strokes. Why not get fit for the club that you use most often? But understand, a fitting needs to be to fit a putter to you, not to sell you a putter. And if new putting technology comes out that changes the game, I'll review it here on the channel. If you've got a putter that you think is great, you want me to do a review of that, let me know. I'll do a review here on the channel. By the way, good information and putting tips like this ought to be worth a like, subscribe, comment, and share. So take care of that. Check out this video, and here's to you making more putts.